Hi, I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of RegAlytics, here with your update on this week's 25,402 regulatory alerts. The regulator of the week, as I'm sure many of you would guess, is the one and only President Donald J. Trump. So, first of all, I recommend everyone just take a moment and go to whitehouse.gov. The pride and zeal of the administration in its return is palpable. Secondly, there were 46 executive orders that he signed on January 20th. And guess who read each and every one? Yes, I did. So the news has done a great job bringing up the common stuff like pardoning the January 6th rioters, delaying TikTok, withdrawing from the World Health Organization, and renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. But I'm going to focus on a few of the perhaps lesser mentioned ones. For example, Mount McKinley in Alaska was renamed by President Obama to Denali, and Trump has renamed it back to Mount McKinley. And also, Alaska is to be exploited for energy and resources as needed. In addition to pulling out of the World Health Organization, we have also pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord, which is no surprise. But the other one is we pulled out of the OECD tax agreement, which is interesting because that could really shift international tax. For those of us who work to implement FATCA and the Common Reporting Standards, all of that are situations where the U.S. has bent other countries to our will. And if we pull out of the OECD tax treaty, I'm curious how the rest of the world will respond. He has also frozen for 90 days all disbursement of federal assistance funds while the purpose of each and every one is going to be evaluated in accordance with the new policies of this administration. So, if you are a nonprofit relying on any sort of foreign aid from the U.S., you are on your own for 90 days. He revoked a bunch of Biden-era executive orders, but there's a few worth mentioning. First, he revoked the order on safe, secure, and trustworthy development and use of artificial intelligence. He then made it clear in establishing DOGE that DOGE had the responsibility to modernize and improve the digital interoperability of the federal government. He also declared a national emergency with respect to supply chains and critical minerals. He claimed the Biden administration and its identification of critical minerals didn't go far enough. So it's revoked, and we can expect some new action in that space. But what he didn't seem to revoke was the executive order on improving the nation's cybersecurity, which includes the Software Bill of Materials, or SBOM. This doesn't exactly surprise me because it was actually Trump that issued the first executive order on cybersecurity and Biden built on top of it. And I'm a little proud because I predicted that might be the case. That said, he can issue more at any time, so I'll keep you posted. Moving on. Trump's order to unleash American energy has eliminated the electric vehicle mandate for federal purchases. This particular order was pretty sweeping. Among other big things, it opens all federal land for energy production. It also directs the agencies to remove any regulatory burdens associated with climate friendliness, including household products and appliances. The restoring accountability to policy influencing positions within the federal workforce is also quite interesting, and I'm quoting here. Only 41% of civil service supervisors are confident that they can remove an employee who's engaged in insubordination or serious misconduct. Even fewer supervisors, 26%, are confident that they can remove any employee for poor performance. This order really focuses on adding the rule that you don't have to support Trump, but you do need to follow his orders, and if you don't, it's grounds for dismissal. But I thought the stat was really interesting, mostly because I hear all the time from large corporations that there's a general inability to let people go for poor performance, often because of DEI. So I think it's normally more for litigation risk, but I do wonder if this is a trend that some of the corporations are going to start following and cleaning house. So that plus the hiring freeze begs the question, how is this all going to work? Well, the federal hiring freeze does not apply to military personnel or to positions related to immigration, enforcement, national security, or public safety. And in fact, his order on protecting the American people against invasion, in that one, he directs ICE to hire more people. And let's not forget that he has restored the death penalty and he has clearly defined male and female, and there is nothing in between as far as the U.S. government is concerned. The topic of the week, again, is change. And that's it this week for RegAlytics. We have the global supply chain with the world's regulatory alerts in one very easy to use place. And if you need anything related to regulation, give us a call.